Hey, what's up? I'm Andy Rinkmore. This is The Giant Pod. We're in the station approach here in Frome, and in this establishment is Burrito Boy, and that is where we are right now. Don Palmer, what's up?
Oh, everything, this and that.
This and that, here, there, and everywhere.
Man.
So we're in Burrito Palace, the Burrito Boy restaurant.
Yeah.
This was one of the biggest business success stories to come out of the pandemic and the lockdowns. And it almost seems a bit crass to say that, but I think people will understand that, you know, when the world changes and you adapt, business has to adapt as well. And new ideas come out of that, which lend itself to a lockdown or the way that society was at that time. So tell me a bit about the start of Burrito Boy.
So it all started over a conversation in my living room. We were all three of us who own the business were all made redundant from COVID. And we were in that period where it was like, right, we've got mortgages, we've got rent, we've got all these things to pay. What can we do? What can we start ourselves with little money, using our skills that we have? I mean, we've all got little skills that we add to the business. What can we do? What can we do right now that can help us pay our bills and essentially stay afloat? And it was a really sort of, without sounding sort of too crazy, it was like a really sort of electric conversation that we had.
Right.
And immediately we came up with a name, we came up with a product within the span of like a half an hour conversation.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
So and was that one of those, like you said, an electric conversations? I'm guessing you were all just like, this feels right.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
This is it. We've got to do it. Like
Yeah.
I talk about an inner compass quite often. Is like when I'm feeling like that desire, that urge, and my gut is going, that is the right move right now. Listen to it and go for it. Were you all just like had that synergy in that moment? You were like,
exactly.
This is what we need to do now.
Everything aligned at once.
Right.
Everything aligned. And I was like, should we do burritos? And I was like, yeah, let's do burritos. And then we were like, right, how could we do it? What could we do? And then I was like, oh, Burrito Boy, how about that? I was like, it's simple, it's easy. And literally that's where we came up with a name like that. Within about another 20 minutes of talking, we already had what colors we wanted to use. We were like pale yellow, pale red. It all really happened really, really quickly.
So it just came together. It's amazing, isn't it, how when your back is against the wall and you have to do something, how, like they say, necessity is the mother of invention, isn't it? And it couldn't be truer in this sense. So you're like, right, we've got to do something, and what a blessing, really, in a strange strange sense.
I mean, fear can be the biggest driver. I mean, it still is to us now. Fear of having to go back to working for someone we hate, or doing something we don't like, or clocking in at 8:30, getting bollocks straight away as soon as you got to work, and just having a horrible day going home. That's the fear of doing that again is enough of a driver to make us successful.
I feel that.
Yeah.
I feel that. Man. Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. So what is so you're saying that you already had the color structures or what's the term? Colorway?
Yeah, I guess palette. Yeah, something like that.
So I'm picking up that perhaps you have a background in marketing. I don't know. It feels like I'm setting sales. Yeah, sales. It feels like I'm setting this question up.
No,
it's just
you're right.
kind of vaguely know that you were doing some sort of marketing.
Yeah, I was selling alcohol. I was an alcohol salesman. So yeah, I just traveled around. But within working in salesy jobs and stuff, you sort of learn what people like and what people don't like.
Okay.
What sells, essentially.
Right. And did you get like a peek behind the curtain in terms of like how you launch a product? So I'm assuming that you had new lines of can you mention who you worked for? Would you rather?
Yeah, I mean, I worked for various like gin companies and sweets companies and cheese, like all sorts of like goods that are luxury, like goods that you aren't essential, if you know what I mean. Like treats.
Hence why you were made redundant.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. It wasn't like no one needs to be sold gin in a pandemic. I mean, if they want gin, they're gonna go get it anyway. So
yeah.
So yeah.
I don't know. I worked in a shop in the pandemic, and I sold more gin.
Yeah, you didn't need me to tell you what to sell, though, did you? People just came and got it. You know. What I mean?
Yeah. So you see a new line come in, or a new brand or something come in, and you see how the company has built that particular thing from the ground up.
Exactly.
So you apply those disciplines, I guess, or those ideas to Burrito Boy, and so you have that conversation. and it's all electric, it's all fire, and everyone's like pumped
Yeah.
up. And you're like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. What's the next step after that? Is it the logo? Was it
yeah.
all like branding first?
It went so quick, yeah.
Right.
It all went so quick again. The day after that conversation, I guess it's like how we are as characters, or what makes us good at what we do. Like literally straight after, I was looking at graphic designers in Froome, like brand designers in Froome. That was my immediately. I was like, I'm gonna ride this high that we're on, sort of thing. So yeah, went straight to logos. I can't say how much money I had because it wasn't a lot of money, and but I went straight to a really good brand designer here in Froome.
Right.
Explained the situation. I was like, look, I'm trying to start something. I remember he came back and was like, what's your budget? And I told him, and he was like, I'm just having a few more zeros on the end of that. But he might have rated the sort of naivety that I had. And then I asked the right person because he created a really cool logo.
Cool logo. You said that, looking for graphic designers in Froome. Froome has so many amazing graphic designers.
Yeah, I know.
It's stupid. Like,
It is mad.
There's so much artistic talent, but in Froome, but also people who have the artistic eye but know how to monetize it or make it into, or sculpt what they do into something that's sellable.
Yeah.
Brand-like.
Yeah.
And it's quite amazing. We just bumped into Matt Wellstead out here.
Yeah.
He did the giant pod logo.
Yeah.
Shout out Matt. He's a good lad.
Yeah.
Hopefully
Good lad.
we're going to get him some of this giant burrito that we're going to do. I'd like to feed that man.
He deserves it.
Yeah,
He deserves it, yeah.
Yeah, and it's just great, like setting up today. We've had all kinds of people coming in and saying what's up. And it just seems like a creative hub here. Seems like
really
the right
nice.
spot for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, and we're tucked right away in here as well. Like a lot of people don't even realise we're here a lot of the time, but I think that adds to it. I mean,
adds to the charm.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Well, we'll see after today. There'll be a few more people will know where you are now, I think.
Yeah.
I hope, anyway.
Yeah, for sure.
It became a sort of a DIY punk rock ethos for a while, didn't it?
Yeah.
And I started seeing this thing, it was very viral, I feel. I started seeing people with these like burritos that had a nice little sticker on, really simple stuff.
Exactly,
but
that
really
was it.
professional in your delivery of it.
Well, that was the point. Was simplicity was the whole point. Like that's why the names initials are 2 B's. That's why it's all simple colours. It's all simple. There's no messing around. Because I mean, in that short conversation we had, we were like, we could have burrito places all over the country. Like, but if we want a burrito place in every city around here or something, it needs to be simple. It needs to be easy and ring off the tongue nicely.
Yeah. I love that, and it exploded.
Yeah.
I just sat there and I was like, someone else is getting burrito. And there was a point where you're like, hang on, something really cool is happening.
Yeah.
And I don't know anything about it. And you sort of get that like sort of FOMO a little bit. And you start going, what the fuck is this? Who is this Burrito Boy? And how's this exploding in this landscape? And then I sort of figure out that you're doing it from your
my house. Yeah, from my house. I remember you saying to me actually in the co-op when I came in, I remember you were like, do you ever feel like, oh shit, I've just created a monster. I don't know how to tame it. And I remember you saying it to me and I was like, that's a really good way of explaining it. We had no idea it was going to be like that quick.
Yeah.
Like, that was a hard thing to deal with. I'd never owned the business. None of us had ever owned a business before. I'd worked within them, but to do it all, the top down to the bottom, and learn about how to do it all that quickly was tough.
Right.
But very rewarding at the same time.
Yeah, a baptism by fire.
For sure.
I mean, sometimes the best way to do something and get good at something is to just do it.
Yeah.
And I imagine you feel like, I think there's a lot of business owners that when they get to the end of the month and nothing's gone wrong and they haven't lost the business and nothing's gone like terribly, they go, I don't know how I did that, but we got through. And then you'll look, how far into it are you now? Are we in year 3?
Year 2. Yeah, so we've had the restaurant since July last year, so we've not even been in here a year, but we had the business since about autumn the year before.
Right.
But yeah, the first like 8 months or whatever were all from my house. So it was a completely different level. We don't have any staff costs, you don't have any rent to pay. It's all included in my sort of rent that I'm paying myself.
Yeah.
The transition was huge.
It's been exponential, hasn't it?
Yeah, and we needed to make it work because with all these added overheads, you need to sell a lot more burritos to be able to break even, man.
Was there a point when you were like, my fucking house isn't my own anymore.
Yeah.
Is this why you're here? I guess you're like, I can't run a restaurant and like do my own like have a personal like life.
That's exactly what happened. So, I mean, all my clothes, even to this day, still smell like seared beef. I mean, we're doing everything in my kitchen, in my house. It spread through the whole house. Like, everything smelled like burritos. Living room on delivery days was just full, like completely full. Like the whole floor, sofas, everything. And yeah, that was hard. And we didn't realize how hard it was until Christmas, our first Christmas. We took it off. And then I remember texting Alex at Christmas time to say, I don't care what happens, we're finding another kitchen now. Because I finally got my house back for 2 weeks, and I forgot how fucking nice it is.
How normal it felt.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, amazing. There was a real vibe about it, because I'd see, like, I started following your Instagram page, which blew up really quick.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing people posting and tagging you in, and I'm like, they are selling. People are buying this stuff, like, in their droves. And what I really loved about that early business model was that you'd be like, right, we're taking orders from here to here, and they will be delivered then. Mm-hmm. And that had a feeling of exclusivity to it.
Yeah.
And it was like, if you want in on this, you gotta let us know now, because if you sleep on this, you're going hungry. It's Mackey's tonight.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean, or whatever.
But that's actually true, because the fact was, we could only do what we could do. We could only make a certain amount in a certain amount of time. It worked in our favor, the exclusivity thing, and it did work, but it was true. Like, we couldn't make more than, I mean, the biggest ever night we had at home, I think we did like 100 burritos. But that's in 4 hours of 2 people being able to do them in a tiny little kitchen.
Yeah.
So yeah, that worked. I mean, I remember people were trying to order, and if they couldn't get it on the Friday night, they'd go, well, can I have it tomorrow then? And it's like, if I want to eat out, or if I want to get a takeaway, I want it right now.
In that moment.
But people wanted it regardless of the day or the time. It was whenever they could, which was really cool.
And I'm not a marketing expert by any measure, but I have a feeling that exclusive window was really powerful.
Yeah,
because
massively.
people go, I've got my Burrito Boy. I know there's loads of people out there that wanted it and didn't get it, so I'm going to put it on Instagram.
That's made them show it off, yeah.
And it's like, I'm in the club,
exactly.
I've got the Burrito Boy tonight and stuff like that. And,
Exactly.
and it creates like a real an added value that's not monetary.
Yeah.
It's got like it's so cynical to say, but it's kind of got a social value to it when it's like a product that's really kicking off. The branding's on point. Everything's cool. It feels kind of exclusive, a bit secret, a bit grassroots, a bit punk rock and DIY.
Exactly.
It's coming out of someone's house.
You're picking it up in a car park. Cash only out the window. People loved it, man.
Right.
Yeah. All of that really added to it.
It's amazing.
Surreal thinking about it.
So tell me a little bit about your business partners, because I'm with you now.
Yeah.
But you've got 2 other business partners.
Yeah. They don't want to come on.
We need
with
to
me.
give them a little bit of love.
Yeah. So my girlfriend Mirabelle, she's an amazing chef. Like, so she's been a chef, well, as long as she could work, pretty much. Which is why people enjoy the food, and why we can sort of like prep for these massive numbers and it stay consistent. Something it's still difficult to be consistent every single time, but she's pretty switched on with it all. She's really good. And then Alex, one of my oldest friends. He has a similar background to me. He worked in sales as well. So we're just two people who can talk and couldn't really do that much else.
So were you really into cooking and food and stuff before this came about?
Yeah, me and Alex both always been foodies as people.
Right, okay.
Like, we like good food. We know what tastes well, and we know what flavors go with what. But when you're cooking en masse, it's a completely different thing. Like cooking for 100 people compared to cooking for you and your girlfriend or whatever.
Yeah.
Completely different. So she sort of had to guide. Well, I've never worked in the kitchen. I'm not. I mean, we're lucky that I'm even here. Genuinely, man. If I walk in this kitchen on a Friday night, I'm out.
Right.
It's not my place. I'm not very good at that.
Right. You must have been okay.
Yeah, I'm all right. Well, no, I help with the recipes, sort of like what we should do and the flavors, but the actual practicality of it,
right?
Not for me.
Are you an ideas man?
Yeah, right. Pretty much a bigger picture person. Not very good at the smaller stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I've said it before and I'll say it 100 times on this podcast. I got ADHD. And
Me too. Really bad.
Okay, cool,
really bad, yeah.
And I know...
Where do you begin?
I know for a fact that I'll start doing one thing, and then before I know it, I'm doing something else, and that is not conducive to a professional, well-oiled machine of a kitchen.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And where do you begin with stuff? Do you know what I mean? Like, if someone gave me like a load of things to look at and like, right, you have to do that.
Yeah.
I get so tired from just looking at it that I'd sack it off. You know.
You become paralysed
completely.
by it.
Completely. It's the story of my life. Yeah.
And then you procrastinate it off. Yeah.
But that's why our dynamic works, because they both understand that.
Yeah.
And help free me up to do other things.
Yeah.
The dynamic we've got is special. Yeah, it's really good.
It's good stuff.
It aids the ADHD. For sure.
I'm very lucky with Harry because he knows all about my ADHD. He'll be like, right, what I need you to do now is that. And I'll go, I've got a job. I'll go do that one job.
Same. It could be really simple.
And it might even be like just to get out of his hair.
Yeah. I'm convinced they do that to me as well.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely convinced they give me tasks. They're like, oh, you need to go to the supermarket to grab this. I'm like, do we need it right now? Yeah, we need it right now.
The boy needs a side quest.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, sick. So did you get, like, I would have got backache if I was in a little kitchen, little knocking elbows and stuff, wrapping these little bundles of joy up for everyone. I'd be like, oh my God, all the time. Would. How did you, was it like physically demanding? It sounds like you were like...
Yeah. I mean, I was delivery driver for a long time, and before it grew to the point where I couldn't do both, I would do all the collections. So I would try and time the collection, so I would do two at once from the local pay and display car park. But it was just constant running. And I mean, the other guys in the kitchen are on their feet all day and all evening. It's physically tiring as well as mentally.
Well, you don't have to worry about that anymore, do you? Because you told me a little nugget or something that it didn't blow my mind, but I was like, oh, of course Uber Eats would do such a thing. So you're now partnered with Uber Eats.
Yeah.
Who, like, are they the big boys?
They're big. Yeah, they're big. There's them and Deliveroo as well.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, you got Just Eat and stuff, but it seems a little bit less technologically advanced, I guess.
Right.
Deliveroo and Uber Eats are sort of the big boys.
Got to work on their user interface, have they?
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
So yeah, we use them as well. I mean, I try not to. I don't want to rely on it,
right?
Because we've got a very good. We're good on our own.
Yeah.
But they do all the delivering for us. So if people want to get a delivery, and really don't want to go out the house, which is fair. Then we're on
pandemic or no pandemic. Yeah, exactly. Sometimes leaving the house is just too much to ask.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's a good tool. It's hard to work with sometimes. They're difficult because there's such like miracles of technology, the way they can work. Like the way you can order this food, see where it's going, the driver gets, all these different components that come into it. But when it goes wrong, it goes like really wrong.
Really wrong.
Because a customer will call me and be like, driver's not turned up or something.
Yeah.
But it's technically their problem, not mine. But being from a customer service based sort of
right,
my prerogative is my customers.
Because at that point you're outsourcing to Just Eat, right?
Exactly.
And then they become a third party. And so when you've handed over the food to the Just Eat fella,
as long as the food's right that goes in that bag, it's their problem.
It's their responsibility.
Yeah.
So you've got to double hat that a bit, because to the customer, it shouldn't be their issue who it is.
No, exactly.
They come and speak to you, and you have to do your best.
Exactly.
For
so
them.
I often lose out in that respect, because even if they mess it up, I'll resolve it.
Honour it. Yeah.
That's how we are as a customer sort of orientated business.
Yeah.
But yeah, it goes really bad sometimes.
Yeah. But Just Eat are like amazing.
Uber
like
Eats,
you say. Huh?
Uber Eats.
Uber Eats. Mate,
they are good.
There's too many of these things.
Yeah, there is. It's added another dimension to the business that's really good. Like, we don't... What I was worried about was offering delivery through Uber Eats, and then that taking away from my normal business.
Right,
and then Uber Eats essentially just making a commission off what they've got from me.
Yeah.
But it's not worked like that. It's just been additional, really.
Right.
It's not detracted from any of our normal stuff, which is, it's just bringing more funds into the business. It's great.
It's good stuff.
Yeah, it's good.
So before I mess that up again and say the wrong company, I'm going to move away from that particular aspect of the business. So tell me how you went about getting your premises, because you go from your kitchen and you had your branding down, you had you had some merch that was cool, you had I was talking to you about how you were finding the materials that you used to wrap the burritos, packaging, is the word I'm looking for, and you had your cool Burrito Boy stickers, and things like that, and that was all on point. And I remember talking to you, and you were like, "I've managed to find a place that's 50p cheaper or something,
it's mad,
but without dipping in the quality."
Yeah,
there's all these little percentile different changes that make a huge difference to the overall thing. So to go from that kind of thinking where you're like, all right, how are we reducing the cost of each piece of packaging without compromising, to suddenly now you've got all of this. I mean, this isn't cheap, is it?
No, man.
I mean, some people don't like to talk about finances and things, but whatever you're comfortable talking about, how did we end up here in this, like I said, the Burrito Palace?
Well, actually finding this place was hard work. Like I was saying earlier, I remember texting Al at Christmas just saying, we have to get out of my house. Like, whatever costs it takes, like, it's going to ruin the business soon because I don't want to be in my house anymore. So that was a big deal. And I remember I had a list of 18 places to call in Frome to see if I could borrow a kitchen.
Right.
Rent a kitchen. I didn't necessarily, borrow your kitchen. But it wasn't necessarily like a shop. It was whatever I could. I remember ringing all the parish churches to see if I could use their kitchen. Literally all of them. Like, I rang them. I ended up getting a few really kind offers from pubs and stuff in the end, but that was after I found this. I remember I rang our landlord, Raj, here at the time. I was told there was nothing here, but I thought I'm ringing anyway.
Yeah.
Like, if I can try and convince him to give me something, like, I've got to do it. And he's like, do you know what? Yeah, I might have something for you. And it was this. What I didn't realise at the time was I was going to need to borrow a lot of money because this was an empty shell in a warehouse. There wasn't even a wall. There was no walls. None of these like walls or anything you see here. Water. There was no water, electric.
Okay.
We did everything from scratch, completely from scratch.
This is just a barren unit.
Yeah, completely barren. Like we were doing it up in February. We started. It was freezing cold. There was no lights. There was no nothing. It was a bleak time.
Yeah.
But really worth it.
Made it work.
Yeah, but that's where all our money that we went, like, we spent. I mean, we still got someone's dining room chairs I bought off Facebook Marketplace because all the money went on the boring things like timber and plaster.
I imagine it's a real eye-opener.
Really was,
because you just, like, on the face of it, you think, right, we'll get some cookers in.
Yeah.
Get some aprons, pots and pans and whatnot.
It's not like
I know there's way more to it.
Yeah.
But reducing it down, you think, right, as long as, because you've done it from your house.
Yeah.
So you think, right, we just need to replicate that and just a bit bigger.
Exactly.
And then actually going to that commercial level, there's way more in it. Like, look how many of those like red emergency stoppers there are there.
I know, that's all three-phase electric we had to get in.
Yeah, I imagine someone went, you have to have this.
Yeah,
and you went, oh, for fuck.
Yeah, you have to fireproof everything. We didn't think about that. So every wall's got to be double fireboarded and like sealed it's got to be signed off by the council, and then you've got to pay for applications with the council, and you've got to do all these little things that you would never have accounted for. Right. And we borrowed, I can't remember how much we borrowed, like 20 grand or something. Didn't even go halfway. Right. Because of what we calculated in our heads as people who've never done it. We were like, we need all this equipment, we need walls, we need labour, and we were nowhere near. And
then fucking Mr. Reality Check comes along with his clipboard.
And sundries. Sundries is what they call
sundries,
it. Right. Things you never account for.
Yeah.
That actually you need. You know, that's where it got you. But yeah, it's all part of it.
So were there any moments in there where you were like, right, we're 20 in the hole?
Mm-hmm. Didn't think we were going to finish it.
Yeah, like what were we going to do?
Yeah, I mean, we had to take breaks for like a couple of weeks and stuff where I didn't know how we were actually going to finish it. We're just going to start this project and not finish it, and go back to the house to work from the house again, to save some money to put back in, and all these things in a very we had sort of like a very angelic person turn up and give us a hand. Yeah. Very special person.
Yeah. if they got some sort of special Burrito Boy VIP
black card. 100%. Yeah. Yeah.
Every Friday night they show up.
Yes. Prime time. Yeah, no, we're forever grateful for people. I mean, and that's something that's been really special about what we've done here is we've made so many like connections with people. People really backed us. Like, you know, there's no. If you look through our old Instagram posts and stuff, I mean, every other post, I'd make sure I say thank you to people. It wasn't like half-assed. Like I really meant thank you because all these people sharing their posts, all the people, you know, telling their mates and, you know, helping us and giving us advice, and it just felt like.
I tell you what it was, from my point of view, through my lens of life experience, Burrito Boy was like that band that you discover when no one knows who they are and they're really fucking good. You love everything that they do. Everything they put out, every new menu item is a smash hit, right? And then what happens is you see them growing and you back it. And what happens then is you start to feel a little bit of ownership over it, or a little bit of like, you're emotionally invested. So you see it grow, you like to see it grow. It feels like your little secret. It's a thing that you've backed, you're proud of. You want to see it succeed, because there's also a little tiny part of you that selfishly wants to be like, I'm a dragon from Dragon's Den and I know what's good when I back it. Do you know what I mean? Look at this. I saw this coming.
It's a good analogy, actually. It's very true, yeah.
And so actually, although you're here and you're in this big space, and you spent all this money and everything, the underpinning thing is that you still have a legion of fans, loyalists who have seen you from the beginning, seen you through it. They've even like funded it to a degree. Well, they have.
They're amazing, yeah.
And so it's kind of like you're that band that then suddenly they go and play Wembley and everyone's like, I remember seeing them in our local pub, and they're good lads. And really proud of it, and they just like want to see it, you know. And that's why people are like so supportive. Because they feel connected to it. It's like an investment.
Personal.
And that's like, you cannot put a fucking price on that.
No, and I remember. I mean, I don't know. 80-90% of our customers by first name, off my heart. I see them all. I know them all. Like. Really well now. I mean, we've created a real personal bond, because I guess it's so personal for me as well that, you know, every single person matters so much. It's really hard. It's a really hard thing to explain. I remember what people eat, and, you know, even though the numbers were doing more and more and more, that doesn't change. It doesn't change. Like, I really love our customers. It's crazy.
And again, another kind of cynical point, I guess, but like, people's names are really powerful.
Yeah.
You know, if you're talking and to someone and you use their name in the sentence, look how they perk up.
Yeah, I like it when people use mine when they talk to me. Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah.
There's something about it. It's just kind of, and it's got that personal edge, and it makes you feel seen and like appreciated. And like you said, you know everyone by first name. And, you know, when people come in after a hard week maybe, and you're like, yo, Trevor, what's up? You know, can I get you that thing? Like, we've got this new thing on the menu. Let me chuck a little bit on there and see how you like it. And, you know, and I guess there's people that you look after.
I look after a lot of them, I chuck them a beer, or if there's a longer wait, I'll sling them a beer and, you know, things like that. Or
and I know that from my experience in customer services. You can have people come in the door who have just had the worst day ever, or they're going through stuff and you don't know what it is. And I'm not saying in every moment me and you would have been like really present in that thought, but you can really like change people's like days and weeks around just by like coming at them with no judgment, pleased to see them, doing, and you're feeding people as well. And it's such a personal thing, because food can bring so much joy. Good food brings so much joy to people. So, and
those small interactions really do mean a lot. Like, I'm really like aware how much difference I can make to somebody by just being nice to them. And it sounds daft, but like, I'm really aware of it. Like, I make sure I don't make it over the top or anything, but I try to be solid to absolutely everyone, because that can really change someone's whole perspective on their day.
Yeah, it's so important. It's so important. It is. And so you've been here almost a year now.
Yes.
Yeah. That's mad.
Yeah.
Isn't that
been
mad?
Really quick. Yeah, it's gone really quick.
I remember the post of you going, we were opening a restaurant, and you going like, wow, sick, that's really cool. And then it's a year already, almost.
Yeah. Been the fastest year of my life. I mean, it's been amazing. Like I was saying, it's tough in its own ways, but the rewards, like when I look, like, I mean, last Friday it was like completely full in here. and people in and out all night picking up takeaways, chatting to everyone. And then we had our outside seating. It was nice and full. And I just, it's hard sometimes when you're in it to stop and reflect on it. But when you do, you're like, shit, like this is really cool. Like this is really nice. Like it's a very special thing.
Yeah, and there's that, like you were saying, there's a bit of a community vibe to it.
Yeah, 100%.
And like out there is so beautiful. It's such a sun trap, isn't it?
I know.
And
it's the car park as well.
The Rye Bakery next door.
Great neighbours.
Other spots. You got Mahesh out there.
Langi Babas and Hesperian.
Yeah,
Hesperian. Then we've got all the like sort of creative offices here as well, design offices, photography. It's a cool place to be.
Yeah, I feel like in the summer you come here, get some food. Mm-hmm. Everyone's maybe eating something a little different.
Yeah, drinking different stuff, eating different stuff, and like. It just in the summer, it becomes like a real hub.
Yeah.
It becomes like a real hub. I mean, you get a few hundred people out there in the summer and there's music on and it's like working a festival every weekend.
Nice.
Like on a Friday and Saturday night, it's like being in a little mini festival.
Yeah.
But yeah, having the pleasure to work it, it's great.
I love it. So what's the next move? I'm saying it like I know. I don't.
Do you know what?
I have a hunch that you're probably going to go and open something somewhere.
Yeah, we were about to open a shop, which I tried to keep secret, but it's me. It wasn't like other people telling everyone. It was me telling everyone. Just don't tell anyone, but I'm going to open.
I think you told me in the shop.
Yeah, exactly, man. I was too excited. I mean, I had everything ready. I had shop fitters ready. I had the shop off the market. Had another stroke of luck in that we had a top Michelin star chef in Bristol helping me design it and like how to do stuff. And I mean, I was like, I'm not paying this. Like, it was just luck again, just from. But we pulled out. Do you know what it is in this industry? What we've learned is that by a million miles, the hardest part of it is staff.
Right.
And you're on such a tightrope all the time. I'm really lucky now. We've got a really good team, and it's solid.
Shout out Josh,
shout
Hector,
out my man Josh,
Dylan, in the back.
Yeah, they're
making the magic happen.
But they are just amazing. But it's took to this point now to finally be confident with it and have the right team and have the right people. And if one of those important people go, I'm back where I started again. It's really hard. I mean, so that was the reason for pulling out. Because, I mean, I'm going to be stretched between... Well, it's going to be in Bristol.
Right.
Bristol's much more appealing to me than Bath at the moment. Just for different reasons. Just much cooler, isn't it? There's much more going on. It's much cooler.
I have a long history with Bath.
Yeah.
And I love it. I spent a lot of my formative years learning my drumming craft and everything there and making lots of friends. But it isn't...
It's not that
I don't
cool.
think it's what it used to be.
No.
Bristol's where it's at for a while.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It could go one or two ways with us in Bath because we're quite rustic as a business. We're quite rough around the edges in what we do and like, not unashamedly, you know what I mean? But I don't know how that would work in somewhere like Bath. It can go one or two ways. People could find it a real novelty and really like it. Yeah. Like they could, but they could not. And then I'm stuck paying the rent prices of Bath and it could be make or break. Our next move, if we go to another shop, could be make or break. Yeah. So it's a lot of pressure on it.
Yeah, it's a lot to lose, isn't it? Because I imagine if you go to to replicate yourself, you're putting a lot of capital from the original. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you got to put this on the line. I've already had a look into how much I could not put this on the line.
Right.
And protect it at all costs. But ultimately, if you're borrowing money to do something like that, and anything goes wrong, they'll come for this. So, hence why I pulled out of the Bristol one, because the rent was going to be like $3,000 a month for us. That's a lot of money. Do you know what I mean? Then you look at staff and stuff, and it's like we've got to turn over a lot here to make it work. So,
if anything goes wrong, it's not very far away from here, but it's far enough. It's the longest short amount of miles.
Yeah. It doesn't seem long, but it is.
Yeah,
to get to Bristol really when your kitchen's on fire or whatever, and you're sat in traffic in Brislington, it's not what you want, is it? Do you know what I mean? Sat there. So yeah, it was. I think it was the right decision. We've got more to do in Frome. We've got way more we can be doing. I mean, I'm only open 4 days a week for starters.
Right.
We're doing this thing with Uber Eats, where we're working with them a bit closer. There's another option that we've got with them, which is they do things called dark kitchens. Heard of that?
Oh, no.
So it's like a massive ghost kitchen where you've got Burrito Boy here.
A what kitchen?
A dark kitchen.
Did you say a ghost?
A ghost kitchen, dark kitchen. It's like a working kitchen that you only use on Uber Eats. So you will only be on Uber Eats. So say I wanted to go to Cardiff or Bristol or something, I could hire a few members of staff and work in this dark kitchen and only be on Uber Eats there, just while you build up a customer base. And then,
do they fund those kitchens?
Well, they just give you low rent, but you can only use them. So whatever you make, they make.
They're very smart.
It is smart, but it also...
It makes a lot of sense.
It makes sense for someone like me.
They're investing in the culture that they...
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like the future. Let's be honest, it is. Like, however much we like to push against it, delivery, people doing stuff at home, and it is...
Food is in Blade Runner times now.
Yeah, man. It's crazy. It's going to be on drones soon and all that stuff. Do you know what I mean? It's mad. So, yeah, that's another exploration that I might be doing.
Okay.
I'm not sure yet.
And I guess that kind of acts a little bit like a pop-up.
Yes,
exactly. In a way, right?
So you build your customer base. You can do all that. There'll be a deal tied in it where Uber Eats don't miss out if you then don't use the dark kitchen and open an actual premises. Yeah. Because then you'll be some kind of deal where I'd only use Uber Eats for my deliveries, just like here. So we still both win.
But that's the honourable thing to do anyway.
Yeah.
You'd hope or you'd expect most people to nod their hat and say. Yeah. Yeah,
we'd all win from it. If I built a customer base up and only used them for deliveries, they'd win just as much as I would. So, so that's another option, which I think might be sensible, especially how pragmatic I am with what to do next. And then my last option, which is a thing we're doing anyway, is going to be more festivals and events.
Right.
Because we missed that stage, because we came straight from COVID, straight to a restaurant, so we never did festivals.
Right.
We didn't do the build-up like the right way around. We did it the wrong way around completely.
Yeah, but now, you're going to be strolling around Glastonbury or something, hungover.
Yeah.
And you're going to see the Burrito Boy logo and you're going to be like, oh my God, thank God.
That's the plan, man. Glastonbury
this will sort me out. I know these guys, they're really cool. Come with me.
They're really cool. I've been supporting them. Yeah. But that is the dream, to get into Glastonbury. I mean, and they seem like something you just do once a year, but they add such a longevity to your business because once you're in somewhere like that and you do it well, why would they not want you back?
Exactly.
So it adds years and years, I think, anyway, it adds years and years onto your business and brings you in really good money at the same time.
Yeah.
As long as it's not pissing it down all weekend, which is a risk.
It is a risk. You take the risk.
For sure.
Rewinding slightly, there was a time where you expanded your deliveries from Frome to Bruton. Is that right?
Yeah.
Is that then when things got far too much for you?
Well, no, that was again. It was the same as the initial chat about the exclusivity. You could only get food in Bruton on a certain day of the week at 6:15 or 7:15.
Right.
You could only get it then. I just did one, and I had to cap it at 10 people, not 10 burritos, 10 orders.
Yeah.
Once it was gone, and I'd just drive to one spot in Bruton, and everyone would wait, and I'd get out and just pass all the bags in the car.
You're a fucking drug dealer.
Yeah, basically, it would have been a good run if it wasn't. It wasn't.
I love that. Yeah, meet me.
Meet me at the Union Club in Bruton. In the car park. Yeah, and then in the collections here in the South Parade car park. It's great.
But that's kind of cool, I think, in a weird way, because there's a novelty twist on that. That, yes, we're talking about how, Uber Eats has revolutionized food and how we consume it, how we interact with it. But if I ordered from my flat and you were like, yo, come and meet me in the Westway shopping car park, I'd be like, that's kind of sick. I put my coat on and go get my
Cash
burrito.
only, remember? Cash only. Yeah, no, it was great. I remember like one of my favorite moments that I remember. I'm not very good at being sort of in the moment. I'm always sort of like, I really struggle with that. But
forwards ever, backwards never.
Exactly. But one of my favorite ones was I remember coming out into the car park on a Friday night, this little car park, and there were about 15 cars in there, all with their lights on, and they were all waiting for burritos. I just remember looking at it thinking, shit, this is like...
a dogging spot.
Yeah, this is mad. What is going on here? And then you get, people turning up really stoned in their car, really excited and stuff like that. And then you go from that extreme, so then you got like an elderly couple doing it, and it was just, it was special. It was really special.
You see like the local weed dealer, and you're like,
All right, mate.
all right, mate. You know, we're sort of, you know, don't get too close, but we're, you know, we know what we're doing.
Yeah, we know what
we're
we're
in
doing.
tandem.
Yeah.
They get to him, then they come to you, and you're like, sick. All right,
Yeah,
see you
yeah,
later.
all right, yeah.
Joy.
Yeah.
All right, sick. Okay, so you want to expand, but you're pulling your cards close to your chest.
Well, I'm still not sure what I'm doing, basically.
Okay, I think there's something up your sleeve.
Yeah, I've got options.
You don't have to tell me because I know what it's like.
Well, I mean, in an ideal world, I'd open a shop in the centre of Bristol.
Yeah.
And smash it. That's like what I would want to do.
Yeah.
And then eventually, you know, in my head, I'd like to then go from Bristol to Cardiff, Birmingham, Manchester, you know, like up, something like that.
Yeah.
But it's not that simple when we were talking about how much everything costs. It's just so risky in this day and age. Like, it's so risky. I mean, we didn't do things conventionally to start with, so I'm thinking we stick with not being conventional and working it out our own way, you know?
Have you, and I imagine you'll go, hell no, have you thought about franchise?
Yeah. I've thought about it. But the problem is, I mean, we've got to be a well-oiled machine before we can do that, because everything's got to be banging, like, exactly the same every time.
It's got to be flat pack, hasn't it?
Flat packed, like, and, you know, like identical. And we're still very, like I was saying, rough around the edges at the moment. I mean, in the future, I think it was like 5 guys or something. They did at least 4 or 5 by themselves.
Right.
Then they start franchising.
Okay.
And once you've worked out the model completely perfectly. But yeah, I'm open to all sort of options like that.
Yeah, it's a tough one, isn't it? Because when you've spent, I mean, like you're 2 years or so in now, you've probably got quite an attachment to that. I mean, it's about the logo, isn't it? That's the first thing people see.
Yeah.
And recognizing that brand. And so for you to franchise, you're essentially giving a custody, aren't you, to over to someone for your branding.
Exactly.
And you can, you know, they can set themselves up with an identical flat pack. This is Burrito Boy, steps 1 through 100, and create something like this elsewhere. And I imagine it would be like financially more rewarding for you. But then you have to think about, well, how are they operating that? And how is what they do reflecting on all your other, you know, in the chain or the Burrito Boy network?
I think in my head I'd try and do it ourselves until we were knackered. Right, and then we're like, right, now we can look at franchising, because we've got a lot of energy and we're pretty, I like to think we're quite switched on with like even managing multiple sites. I think we could do it. It's all about getting the right people.
Yeah.
It literally is all, like, we got Josh here now, and it's made our business so much better just from having him in here, you know. So I think I try and exhaust ourselves as much as we can before we go to franchise. But I mean, this is all in the future, but that would be the way I do it, I think.
Yeah. Amazing. We are going to make a giant burrito, I think.
Yeah.
So before we cut and wash our hands and prep and everything, just run me through, because I was like, giant pod, we've got to come in, we've got to make something massive.
We've got
two dudes that aren't very good in the kitchen. I imagine you're probably much better than I am.
No.
Two ADHD boys making giant burritos coming up next. Run me through what we got. What's going on here?
So, shouldn't fill you with confidence, but I've never done this before. I've rolled a burrito, and they never look great when I roll them either, but I've never rolled a giant one. One of my members of staff have rolled one once.
Okay.
So...
did they do a test run for us?
Well, yeah.
Right.
It didn't look great, but I think I know how to make it better.
Okay.
So we're going to make a giant beef burrito, which is our signature product. We're going to layer up tortillas, sort of like this.
Yeah.
3 of those. Then we're going to fill it with rice, your beef, or your
We're going this way on it, are we?
We're going to... It might be a 2-man job, but we're sort of going to tuck it like along at once. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard.
All right, okay. So, all right, we're going to get prepped, wash our hands, and do whatever we need to do, and we'll join you in, like... Here we are. So we've washed our hands. Are we going to go with gloves?
Gloves for you. I don't know if they're going to fit you though.
I don't know if they will fit. What's the method here? Do you go?
Yeah, you just put it on your head first.
Okay, so we are right. In honour of the giant pod, we're making a giant Burrito Boy burrito.
Yes.
Is this one of your signature burritos?
Yeah. This is our biggest seller by a million miles.
Okay.
It's our signature beef burrito. So it's the first one we ever created. Bit of trivia. First time we ever created it was on my birthday.
Right.
And it worked really well.
Okay.
So we've got everything that normally goes in one minus guacamole.
Okay.
Because the kitchen said we're not allowed to use that because it's just way too expensive.
All right.
It's crazy. Avocados are wild. So they've not given us any. So
fair enough.
we'll make do without.
Fair enough. They've been very kind in setting. Like, you've come to them and you've gone, we're going to make this massive thing while you're trying to work.
Yeah.
All these lights and cameras. Can you hook it up?
Yeah.
And they've come through for this.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
props to the kitchen.
And it's only a little tiny kitchen as well, so they're good.
All right. Cool.
So this technically should work better. So what we do, like when we finish chucking up a burrito, like you roll it over, we seal it with a bit of water before we then put it on there to stay.
Okay.
So what I'm thinking
Yeah.
is if we do that under each bit of this, it will help keep it together.
Okay. So how we do that? Just a finger?
A little bit, yeah, just enough to like.
And sort of
Yeah.
glaze it in.
Yeah, I think
I
so.
need some more.
Yeah, I reckon. I mean, should work.
That
We'll
looks
see.
good to me. That looks good to me.
Yeah.
I'm no expert, but
So,
okay.
and portion sizes won't be right because again I'm not usually allowed back here. So, should we start with rice? Do you want to do it, or do you want me to show you?
I can do some rice. I
Yeah,
can
you
do
do
some
some
rice.
rice.
Okay, how much do you want?
Take a big spoonful because we're doing a big one. So,
Yeah.
we'll sort of layer that from about here.
Yeah, and with
To the
what we're
same-
doing, going in like this.
Yeah. Another big spoonful would probably work as
Yeah.
well.
So if I do that, you can sort of make it into a nice little like snail, can't you?
Well, you squish it all up in the end anyway.
Okay,
You squish it
right.
all up, so it sort of works. And
I
then
need to come on.
yeah, we'll just go a little bit more along.
Okay, tell me about this rice because this is this
So-
looks like something's going on with it.
Yeah, it's chipotle rice. We use Mexican oregano, chipotle paste, and I'm giving my recipes away here.
You can leave an ingredient out. if you want.
Tomato paste, and then another amount of herbs and like spices that we put in.
Okay.
Now it's the ratios. I can't tell people, isn't it? That's
Okay, all right, cool. Is your kitchen staff going to be mad if we use everything?
No.
Okay.
This is all to be used now. We can't once you've reheated stuff that's already cooked, so you can't do it again anyway. So
Gotcha.
that's all good.
I think that looks pretty
That
good.
looks healthy. Yeah, no, I think it's going to be quite a big boy. Right, then let's do some beef.
Okay, you do the honours
I'll
on the
do
beef.
that. This beef was cooked for 18 hours overnight. It's a cut of the beef called top chuck, so it's like around the shoulder area, so it's like got loads of fat in it, but
Yeah.
also like the good fat that breaks down when you cook it, not like the sinewy sort of like
Right.
papery sort of horrible stuff that doesn't come out.
Yeah.
And again, that's cooked in all sorts of stuff. Like it's cooked in, I think we use about 13 different things when we cook it.
Okay.
Orange juice being one of them.
Really?
It's really commonly used in Mexican food, yeah, orange
Okay.
juice, yeah. Gives it a nice acidity. Lots of orange juice, lots of lime juice, all that sort of good stuff. It's just gotta be big. Just looking at it now.
We're going to call in a few friends at the end.
I think we
Get
are,
some
yeah.
help with this one.
Yeah.
It smells amazing.
Sounds good, doesn't it?
Yeah. Now that it's out and it's infusing with the rice.
Yeah.
We're getting some of that aromatic
Yeah, that's right.
element to it.
Do you want to do the cheese?
Yes. Okay.
Be healthy.
Be healthy.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Oh,
Be alright. I thought you meant don't put much on.
No,
it.
be I mean, yeah, that was the wrong phrase, wasn't it?
Alright. Okay.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. That's a lot of cheese.
That's a lot of cheese, isn't it?
Isn't
Yeah.
it a lot of
I
cheese?
think it is quite.
Isn't it a lot though?
It's gonna be good.
But you know, we're making a giant
Who
one.
doesn't love cheese?
We don't often make. Well, you don't make one this big ever.
No, never.
So we're gonna just enjoy it and throw caution to the wind.
Yeah. I'll do some peppers.
Yeah, yeah.
Then next we're going to put that on as well, which is pico de gallo. De gallo, to be more proper. So like, it's not too strict on sort of like how neat it is, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it all gets tucked up.
Because we're all.
Sort of squish it all together anyway. These are pickled peppers as well, so just add like, breaks it up when you've got so much cheese and things like that in there. Adds a nice sort of palate cleanser, so to speak.
Burrito can. So we're gonna go in. We're gonna get one of these. I love this. Look, just like, let's put that in slow mo later.
Yeah. And then that's that stuff.
Yeah.
So this is like finely chopped onions, tomatoes, onions and tomatoes with lime juice, coriander, and just salt and pepper.
Right.
Again, the sharpness that you need. Yeah, that's healthy. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
stop here.
That's perfect amount. Yeah.
All right.
Then just bung a load of lettuce on. I've done this in the wrong order as well. We should have put our sauces on before.
It's all right.
Be fine.
It's okay. Just turn it upside down when you eat it.
Cool. So, sour cream.
Yeah. Are we going healthy with that as well?
You don't want to go too crazy with it because it's.
Yeah, because I
probably got a lot of cheese already, you know.
Mushy and fall apart.
Yeah.
Because I imagine that's part of the magic, isn't it? It's getting just the right amount of stuff so that you maintain structural integrity.
Ratios are literally everything. Like,
Right.
Don't want too much of anything. I mean, this won't be a perfect demonstration, but honestly, the ratio of everything's weighed. Like everything we put in to eat a burrito is a certain amount of beef, a certain amount of rice. That is all.
Right.
I mean, the guys who do it every day now don't need to put on the scales every time.
Yeah.
But everything's done to a weight.
To a spec.
Exactly.
And that of course gives you consistency.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which is what you were saying about franchising.
Yeah.
Why that's tough.
Yes.
Because you want it to be. So I'm sorry. This is homemade. We call it green sauce.
Green
rather
sauce.
than, like in Mexico, something they call salsa verde. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Made with like jalapeno.
Uh-huh.
I know you're not too great with spice, are you? But
I'm not a massive spicy man.
You'll be okay,
but
I think, with that.
we'll get there.
Jalapeno, lime, coriander, garlic. Really simple.
Look at that thing.
Now we got to try and get this tucked
Okay.
up and done. This is
Right.
the fun bit. Okay, so what we're going to do, I'm going to close it from the sides first.
Okay.
So you go your side over,
Yeah.
flip it over like that.
So I've got to go. How far in am I going with this?
Yes,
Do you want to meet there? That bit there.
No.
Double
Yeah, and then we're
over.
going to try and. I think we've put too much stuff into this.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm going to try and get this. Wait, hold on. Go like this. It's way too big.
Right.
Okay, alright.
Okay.
I think we've got something. We're working with. Should we try?
Yeah. Oh my god.
I mean, that's not awful.
No.
No. It's not great. It could be a lot worse.
Yeah.
Should we try and toast it? Right, so you try and grab from your end,
Yeah.
so we don't lose it in the middle.
Yeah.
We're going to pop it onto the griddle here.
Yeah.
Oh, that's going to be
Falling apart.
Yeah, we're going to be in a bit of trouble here. This is where Josh should have went on his lunch break.
Oh god. Yeah, we have to prize this off now.
Yeah, I know. There's like a scrapey thing I need to use. Oh, I'll just use something else. Yeah. There we go. It's gone. It's really bad. It's really bad. Okay.
I think we got to work with what we got.
Yeah. Oh, that's fine, man. I just need to get a scraper and get this off. Yeah, you got.
It's on fire.
Is it?
No, I'm joking.
It will be soon, though. Definitely.
What do you need? Tell me.
Try and turn it over, get it off.
I feel like I'm going to use this.
Yeah. I think we probably should get it off, shouldn't we? I mean, this bit,
That is
perfect. This bit is not. Oh,
No, we can wrap that up.
Yeah, we can wrap
Yeah, you can
what I'll
rewrap.
do is I'll get another tortilla and we'll put it straight into it, shall we?
Yeah.
Cool, so I'm going to get a little tortilla. I'm going to put them into normal sized burritos now.
Oh, see, look, we've saved it. We've saved
Oh
it.
yeah, we're going to have lots of normal sized burritos now. Lots of them.
I think you've saved that. Like,
Yeah, I mean, that's what it looked like before. And that's what it looks like now. But look, we've got these.
that's great.
This can work.
Yeah.
Let's do something over here. Toast these up for you. Actually, normally, that'd be fine.
I'm excited about
That was
this.
only going to go one way, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We'll wrap it up.
Yes. Show me how.
So, from there,
Uh-huh.
and similar to how you wrapped it, so you sort of tuck.
Yeah. You do me
Yeah.
do me the pro version,
Yeah.
and then I'll give my best
Cool.
attempt.
This is bad. This is not the pro version. At all. Yeah, I mean, it's not terrible.
Bam.
So, it's easy for me to tell you how to do it. For me to do it's really hard.
Yeah.
So basically pop it there.
So grab one, three,
Yeah.
yeah. Here.
Yeah, tuck the sides over.
Be symmetrical, don't you?
Yeah,
Tuck the sides over here.
yeah.
Tuck this side in here.
And roll it up as tightly as you can.
Yeah. Starting with this
Yeah,
one lip
thing.
here.
Yeah, that's better. That's way better than me, man. Then you
Bam.
pop a sticker
Tell
on.
you what, have you got any jobs going?
Yeah, do some more stuff. I told you.
Right, okay, cool. So, put that on there.
Yeah, nice.
Get that out of the way.
Yeah.
Bam. The
Nice.
famous, the infamous Burrito Boy burrito.
What happens when you get two people with ADHD to try and make some food? There you go, that's the result. Oh, disaster, right? That's so terribly wrapped. No one would kill me.
Yeah, right, what we eating here?
Whoa. We could just grab into that and just take a massive
Should we
bite
just
out
go?
of
Yeah, I
it.
feel like this is what.
It's what the people want to see,
Yeah.
right?
Chin chin.
Cheers.
In my beard.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Only a bit though.
Only a bit.
It still tastes alright.
This is great.
Everyone leaves for like 1 minute and this is what happens.
Oh. You know what? This is actually amazing.
I mean, it tastes different to me because I eat them all pretty much every day. I'll get you some of this, right?
Thank you. Fucking giant burrito, isn't it?
Yeah.
Thank you, my man.
Welcome.
So here we are, the giant burrito. Thank you so much, Dom.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us, Burrito Boy.
Welcome.
I hope you've enjoyed this as much as I've enjoyed this. I'm actually really enjoying this. Not even for cam.
Amazing, man.
Nice one. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for coming, man.
Thanks.
Really enjoyed it.
That was a lot of fun. Nice.